Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you the team I'm going to use for this Sapphire Shard event. We defeat giants and collect ale. Not bad. And Sapphire Shards, but ale mostly. But anyway, what you want to do first of all is, because this is a event you do with your guild, therefore everybody takes part, you want to go and collect your rewards absolutely straight away. Because of different time zone differences around the world, certain guild members may have started this before you, and as such would have collected tokens of the north. This is going to increase the spell damage for all your troops in the current event and will ultimately evolve into a Medal of the North, which means lots of extra damage. So do that straight away. You can pick up some of those medals absolutely immediately. There we go. Not medals, tokens. Tokens of the North. We can evolve that. Kaboosh. Consider yourself evolved. Pop back to the beginning. Chuck that into your medal set. Just got to find a sucker. Medal of Badge of the North. There we go. Now we're getting that boost to spell damage. And go back to the event. Right, done that. Next thing you want to do, if you don't already have it, is grab tier 1. This gives you a potion of enchantment, which is really cool. Enchant all allies at the start of the battle, and this applies to this event for the whole week. Well worth the 30 gems on its own, but you do get extra stuff like more eligible troops, more event sigils, and more besides, so absolutely worth grabbing. And you can obviously grab more if you decide to go further and further into the event. Now onto the team itself. You'll see we're fighting giants in this event. Fire Giant is obviously a giant, Baldr is a giant, and we're going to have plenty of giants. And this is relevant in the team I picked. Moira deals a double skull damage versus giants. Handy, huh? As well as that, she deals a decent amount of damage to an enemy, which is going to be magnified, remember, by the token, which eventually will evolve into a medal. As well as that, she converts green gems to doom skulls, which is even more relevant when we consider we're going to do double skull damage versus giants. Helping out on that is King Bloodhammer. Deals damage to 2 strongest enemies, again boosted by our token or medal, and transform blue to doom skulls. As remember, like Moira is going to be doing double skull damage versus giants, so that is going to be serious pain and suffering for any giants we come across. King Highforge chips in by giving all dwarf allies a 50% start with mana, and stunning the last 2 and dealing damage to them boosted by the medal or token and allied dwarves and as a summon. Pretty handy. The Essence of Evil is here because we basically want to make Moira survive. We don't want her dying, we don't want her taking a load of damage and eventually conking out. We want to chuck this on the first 1 or 2 enemies, whoever's the most relevant, and then save Moira from getting any incoming damage, as well as generate mana for the team. So that is the basic idea behind this team. The banner for this I haven't actually chosen yet. What do? We don't use purple. When I don't use purple, I usually like to go to the maze banner. It's still the only one which has 2+2 benefits. Where is it? It's near the end somewhere. Come on. Is that good? Yeah, I'll go with that. Don't use purple. +2 green gets Essence of Evil charged up quickly. +2 red is good because we have 2 allies both using red. Yeah, I'll go with that. And the class for this, I'm going to go for a Rune Priest because it's a Dwarven class. All Dwarves gain 2 life. All Dwarven allies gain 2 life and attack on 4 or 5 gem matches. And the talent tree is going to go for Serendipity. This one isn't actually relevant at all because we're using a relic. Vanguard is nice, always nice to protect ourselves from 1 lot of incoming damage. Don't actually need that because obviously we're not in first place, so we'll have that instead. Rock Solid, always handy. Tree of Knowledge, nice to get enchanted by collecting green. And this one I don't have yet, but if you do have this, I would definitely have Fortitude. Right, so let's take this team out and give it a spin. We're going to use our Potion of Enchantment. We got a 50% start on all troops because we're all dwarves. It's going to be a really fast starting team. There you go. Don't use yellow, but we'll collect that anyway because we get the boosts from that. And we're looking for blue. Should we get blue? Let's get Moira up first. This is kind of a new team for me. This one, gonna go along with it. See how it happens. We do have this. We'll bash them, change them to skulls, and another hit, and another hit. That worked all right. Just to point out, for these first early levels, you may want to pick a weapon that does damage to all. It's going to be a quicker way of going through these first stages. If you picked a damage to all weapon, then basically you're going to whiz through, because the damage you do is going to be enough to easily wipe out the early enemies in a single cast. To do that, just type in damage to all in the search bar. This brings up all your damage to all weapons. You can still remain in dwarf class, chuck something like black manacles at the front, get that charged up super quickly, just whiz through the first early stages. Definitely the quickest way to go about that, but just going to stick with this team for the fun of it. So basically we're going to eventually get that extra boost from the medal on the spell damage, but we're always going to get double skull damage whenever we hit giants. Some of them aren't giants, they're not always going to be giants, but when they are, that extra skull damage is really going to be effective. Right, we've got green to skulls as well as kill someone else. We may as well do that. I'm going to hit them for being annoying and think they can start with mana. Here we go. New gems. When matched, giant gems will give you an extra 5 mana and explode. So that is pretty cool. So this is one of these new giant gems. When matched, giant gems will give you an extra 5 mana and explode. And explode usually means they take out all the surrounding gems. Right, so if we match that, we would explode all these, as well as get an extra 5 mana. So something else to remember. Lovely. Right, let's, well, the dwarves are going to be ready next turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we can choose one or the other. Right, that's what those giant gems do anyway. I was waiting to find out what they did. Right, let's do a baldy. So we can benefit from our double skull damage. Not that we're going to need it right now. We're doing plenty of damage. And what should we get? Might as well get blue. Might as well hit him with a skull. Why not? Got that anyway. Green to skulls doesn't really do much, so we can get green anyway. And let's just chuck that, generate some mana, and then cast one of the bottom 2 troops. But we didn't need to because we got some nice skull hits. So yeah, like I was saying, with no dwarves doing damage to all on these early stages, the quickest way is to pick a damage to all weapon and absolutely whiz through it that way. Absolutely 100%. Green to skulls is not much, but we can get both of our dwarves up and cast them back to back if we require. This is another way to go through the early stages. More sigils. So these are going to get more powerful as things go on, because as that token eventually evolves from medal, the damage these do is going to be increased by 160%, which is a lot. We can look out for green to skulls if we want, or get the rest of the troops up, whichever you prefer. Now I've got this one up as well. We've got blue to doom skulls, but neither of those are particularly relevant right now, so we can do some damage with King Highforge Head. And then just finish off, because we'll get the initial damage anyway from Moira. That first trait, whenever you hit giants with skulls, they're going to be getting a double damage. Stone giant, so he's going to actually offset it, which is quite funny. Well, he's not actually, not quite, because we're going to be doing double skull damage versus him, but he's going to reduce the damage by 50%. So he's doing his best to resist it, but he will ultimately fail. When there's lots of green there like this for Moira's spell, it is best to leave the green there if you can. So we'll get her charged up like that. Leave them green there. This has got to be a match somewhere, hasn't it? Or hasn't it? Now the board's changed it around, so it made it largely not as effective. That's a shame. Oh well. We'll cast him instead. Green to blue, green to... green to skulls, blue to skulls is what we're looking for basically. But if not, we can chuck it on the first troop. That saves Moira. They're dead now anyway. Now there's got to be something. We've got that. And we must have more. Let's give Moira some glory, even though he's only got 15 health. So this team charges up really nice and quick. Pretty easy to use. All you got to remember is green to skulls, blue to skulls. Is our choices on the first two troops. Or the first two, first two troops, because I'm technically the hero. I'm not actually a troop. A hero or a weapon. But that's being technical. Lots of green everywhere. Lots of blue everywhere. Pain and suffering. Kaboosh. No skull hits. Must be green, surely. Oh, we've got green at the bottom there, look. Not that it mattered, because we would have killed it by the initial damage anyway. Just a good habit to get into, looking around for those matches. Let's get Moira up. Take a look around for any green to skulls. Not really, we can bash them anyway. Blue to skulls is up now. We don't have any 4 matches, but we can give her a significant, or them a significant whack with that. Blue, we'll just do High Forge. They're nearly dead. They're going to die anyway. Another one of these giant gems. Anything will do. Top troop. Bloodhammer. Anything. To finish off that last troop. Alright, let's get Moira up. And they adjusted our green again. How annoying. Alright, let's try Bloodhammer. This is really nice for him there now. So many skulls. Lots of damage. Doing good damage on him, even though he's reducing the damage by 50%. This is the sort of thing where it's good to cast Essence of Evil on the second troop down. There's a good chance that we're going to explode these Doom Skulls, which is going to kill that top troop. Therefore, Essence of Evil is a waste on them. Maybe change them to a big old frog. Happy days. Do we have green skulls? Not really, but we're pretty safe. We're just going to finish them off. There you go. Right, so I might just pause it for a second, jump ahead a few levels, come back, see how the team's still doing. I think it's going to be just fine. Well, I bought a few more sigils. The team is still doing really well. We get these higher level enemies, not too much higher, but we're still bashing through them with the greatest of ease. And remember, when your medal eventually evolves to a medal, your token evolves to a medal even, then you're going to be doing even more damage. So all you got to do is be a bit more wary to protect Moira in the first place. You don't want her dying from these hard hits or setting the enemy up by casting Moira or King Bloodhammer when you don't get 4 matches. It is best to get 4 matches. Unless you've got Essence of Evil thrown on the first enemy. So we'll just go through these last few fights just to show you how the team does. Not being very nice to us on our mana colours particularly. Like I say, you can chuck Essence of Evil on the first troop. Gives Moira lots of protection. When you get this is when you want to cast it. Damage, death, pain and suffering. You can do a 4 match here. Now you've got King Bloodhammer up here. Double damage, remember, versus giants. Whenever we come across these giants, they are going to be hurting a lot. They're not going to be happy about it in the slightest. Give Moira protection. And then put it on the wrong one. I should have really put it on Baldr. as I've done that, I thought, why did I do that? It should have been put on Baldr at the bottom, because that troop is near death. Not that it matters, because we get a summon anyway. And their doom was inevitable. Level 130 Baldr. Not looking happy about it. With good reason. Moira does double damage versus giants. One of our troops is up already. Blue to skulls, but it's not fantastic. So we'll cast this on the first troop. This gives Moira protection, because they're now a bloody great frog. So let's hit the bird while doing damage to their toad. Toad is dead. Do we have blue to skulls? We've got it in a couple of places. If you want to be aggressive, you can go for it. It's still going to do a lot of damage. We can now hit him with this. That's 99 damage each. Not too shabby, Sherlock. Can we get our Moira up with all these green there? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But no. Been denied. So we'll chuck that on Baldr. Do not want him casting his spell and creating all those skulls. He's conked out again. So you are going to lose Moira. And now and again, creating all these skulls. It's the way the team is. Yeah, let's get one of the dwarves up. But we do have the summon at the bottom. That's why it's there. Keeps it nice and safe. Or safer. What do I need now? Blue? There's hardly any blue there. Collect anything then. Wow. The game is deciding my mana colours are not there right now. Fine. If that's the way you want to be. If that's how you want to live your life, I shall hit you with some skulls. Hasta la vista. So yeah, remember, as this event goes on as well, this team actually gets more powerful eventually when that token evolves to a medal. The spell damage we're doing is going to be increased. The pain and suffering for the enemy will be even more. So I don't want to cast that just yet, because we're going to set him up for a skull hit down here. Rather collect some mana for the team. This is better. This is a much better place to cast it. Or time to cast it even. We have blue? Yes we do. More skulls. More death. It looks like there should be a 4 match there somewhere. Not going to look at it too long. Let's do that. And give them a bash with that. Just stop them from casting their spell and transforming. Moira's up. Pish bash bosh. So a nice aggressive skull based team on a spell event, but it does work because you get the benefit of the extra power from the spell, from the tokens and medals, but we also get the extra skull damage versus giants with Moira. So I'll do these last two and call it a day. Video you a day. I tried to resist it, I couldn't. I gave in at the last moment. Right, let's protect Moira from that top troop and kill them anyway. Whatever. Do we have blue? Do we have green? Got green a bit. There's some blue dotted around here and there. Let's do it this way. Keep it safe. Now we can do blue. They ain't gonna survive that. Barrels of ale. 4, 3, whatever it was. Let's get the legendary troop here. Jarl Firemantle. Right, lots of green everywhere. These are low level troops. I'm not even going to bother looking. I'm just going to cast it, see what happens. Not even looking, just bash. more ale. So there it is. There's a team. I think that's going to be okay. Remember, as the week goes on, the team effectively gets more powerful as those tokens evolve. So there you go. There's the video. If you found it useful or helpful, be cool if you hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.